Jerry, 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 Jerry. Uh, I got to pay it out no respect to that man who invented trash TV, made it very entertaining, and I enjoyed it. I watched it too. Very memorable episodes on that show. Now, some of it was sort of made up. The stories were real, but to get all the participants that were a part of that story to the Jerry show was a different story. They couldn't always do that. So they had wannabe actors or whatever step in to the role of that person. And some of them did a very good job at it. There are some that launched very good acting careers by doing just that. They would step in and fill the role of the other party or people that didn't show up that were a part of it. And it was usually, almost like Maury. Maury wouldn't have existed had it not been for Jerry Springer. Now, Jerry Springer started off as a serious talk show like Donahue, Oprah. That's what existed then. Then Jerry Springer came onto the scene. He started doing it, and but then he switched after a couple of years and went towards the trashy side for ratings, and it worked. He got a lot of good ratings on that. Steve Wilco and his show, he owes a debt of gratitude towards this man because Steve Wilco would have been a nobody had it not been for him. Steve Wilco was a Chicago police officer off duty that worked security for the show. And basically all the ones that worked security at the Jerry Springer show were off-duty Chicago police officers that they had Steve recruit. I've been to the Jerry Springer show twice in the audience, not a part of the show, but I never got picked. I always kept raising my hands because I wanted to say something funny, but I never got picked. He looked at me, but he didn't. Went over to the girl. I was like, "Oh yeah, the girls are win over every time." But hey, Kyle, thanks for stopping in. I just made it a short live stream because I just got the news that Jerry Springer had passed at the age of 79. Before his TV show and being famous, he was the mayor of Cincinnati, Ohio. One of the most memorable that I remember the show was the first show I went to was this love triangle. And a lot of us were debating whether that was the actual girl or if it was a stand-in for that girl that had cheated on her boyfriend with a midget. Now, I'm not picking on midgets here, but I'm just stating what went on in the show. Now, look, to each his own. Some of my friends dated midgets, and they were cute. To me, it's the size factor. It makes them look like children. It makes me uncomfortable. I remember one of the audience participants that raised his hand. This is like the last, 20 minutes of the show. They turned to the audience and asked questions to the panel of people up there. And one of these guys asked the guy that was the midget, he goes, "Hey, is that your big wheel parked outside?" I'll never forget that. Oh, the audience went nuts. It was hilarious. Oh, but I know that I'm not the only one that watched Jerry Springer. Oh, he died of cancer, Josh? Okay. I was saying, he looked like he was in great health. I mean, he was up in age, but after Donahue, Oprah came around, started her show, got big, and Jerry Springer came around. And then after about a year of Springer, there was an explosion. A bunch of people doing talk shows like Ricky Lake and Oh hell, there was a few others I can't remember off the top of my head. Josh, maybe you remember them all, but there was an explosion of talk shows. Oh yeah, and there was what's his name, Geraldo. Uh, Andrew Dice Clay called him Geraldo. Andrew Dice Clay hated him because he kept, and he was right. He kept us all up all night finding what was in Al Capone's vault. There was nothing in there, and everybody was disappointed. And I think that's what crushed Geraldo's career. They would have found nothing, and they would have said, "We need to put something in there to make it worth everybody's while for staying up all night watching this crap," because it was live. After about 2 or 3 hours, they're like, "We're still digging," and it's like, really, I'll never forget that. And when it was discovered that there was nothing in there, they all looked disappointed. Me and my family were all looking at each other like, "What the fuck did we stay up all night for?" Yeah, that was hilarious. They even did a movie of a fake talk show host that I really like, and I quote it. Uh, Rodney Dangerfield did one called "Meet Wally Sparks." Ain't no mystery about this man's history. Wally Sparks. Oh, it was excellent. I thought it was an excellent show. Um, they had the guy playing the senator, and the guy that played the senator was, I can't remember his real name, but the actor played the major in the TV show MASH. I remember that. And it had Shirley from the Laverne and Shirley show on. I can't remember her name either. The women are all getting drunk with Wally in the senator's mansion, and they're playing strip poker. That was hilarious. Rodney's got a pair of stockings on his head. That was really funny. Where am I? I am in Idaho. Idaho is the area of southern Idaho and northern Utah. So they call it Idaho. But technically, I'm in Utah, way north of Salt Lake. I'm going to be up by the border. In about an hour, I'll be at my 90 to deliver this beef I got from Amarillo. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Not Amarillo, Cactus, which is north of Amarillo, Texas. Ugh. And hopefully, I can get unloaded right away. And I know just down the street is another beef outfit that we get loads out of. Matter of fact, a week and a half ago when I was out here, I picked up a load out of there, out of Logan. And the one I was going to get was going to go to LA, which led me through Las Vegas. Well, I got screwed out of that deal, and I had to take this other beef load up to Washington State instead. Hopefully, this time I get to go through Las Vegas and not get screwed this time. But I don't want to go there too soon. I want to wait like a day or two before I show up in Vegas, because that individual currently is in England. Matter of fact, this individual just performed. And yeah, it's over. And that individual is going to fly over to Belfast for tomorrow night, not for us, but for them, which would be this time probably tomorrow. And then that individual will fly back to Las Vegas where they live. Oh, no, no, no. I do all the entire lower 48 in Canada. I had been to Alaska twice, but shit, last time I went up to Alaska was like 8 or 9 years ago. I was in Vancouver, got a load, took it up to Fairbanks, and got a short run to Juneau. and then got a load from Juneau back down to Vancouver, and then got sent right back up there again. That was about like 8 or 9 years ago. I'm long overdue to go to Canada. Last time I was in Canada was when, well over a year ago, when I met uh, Darren, and that was October of 22 when I met Darren. That was the last time I went to Canada. I'm way long overdue to go to Alberta too, but I doubt they do anything to Alberta from here. Usually the loads that go to Alberta are from Salina, California, out of Taylor Farms. It goes up to the Walmart there north of Calgary. I've done that load many a time. Salina, California is in the Monterey area. Very nice. Not a bad place to live, but not with the earthquakes. The next few years, a tidal wave could hit due to an asteroid. It has the possibility of landing 500 kilometers off the coast there. But it all depends on the push and the pull and the gravity. But basically, Josh, I stay out of the New York, Boston area because to me it's not worth it. Everything is so much more expensive, and the freight doesn't pay good coming out of that area. And plus, for the most part, there isn't any parking. That's why I hate going in that area. And I've been with Prime so long, I could pretty much well get what I want, even though I can turn the loads down, but I don't turn loads down. But my fleet manager knows to keep me out of that area because I do not want to go in that area anymore. I've done my share. Last time I went to New York City, it was Hunts Point, and 6 trucks down from me, a trucker was murdered in his truck, and I'm like, I will never come back to this place again. It's a big old dock that was probably built in the last century. You got like 50 trucks lined up, but there was I saw blue lights coming out everywhere, and wondering what the hell's going on. They're pulling the driver out that was murdered in his truck. I'm like, this is a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry I can't read chat fully. I just look at keywords or something. I glance over. But now I got to get off the interstate on the Highway 91, and I got to go through that mountain pass right there to my right. Still got snow-capped mountains out here. But if you all Google it, I'm headed to Richmond, Utah. Oh, there's some cows. Go out there with a chainsaw and cut a hind quarter off. Throw it up on a grill. That's kind of gross. I wouldn't do it. I'm not a butcher, but I am a cook. Yeah, this pasture to my right is full of cattle. And so there's some over here to my left, too. I'm going to go split right between these mountains here. But hey, guys, thanks for coming to this live stream. It was just my way of, paying respects to Jerry Springer, who entertained us for so many years. Because I remember I'd come home from work back when I had a normal 40-hour job. I'd come home from work and turn TV on, Jerry Springer's on. Girls dancing around the pole, rubbing Steve Wilko's head. It was basically trash TV, but hey, it got the ratings though. I know everybody in the trailer park watching it because basically that's where all the stories came out of. And they emptied out all the trailer parks throughout the years he did that show. I guarantee you go to any trailer park in the country, you still find that kind of drama. Oh, she's screwing everybody in the trailer park. What else is new? And they're acting like that this is something new. No. There's always that one. There's always one that makes her way down everybody's bed in the trailer park. Hey, having a few kids by all the dudes there too. But hey, you guys have a good day. Thanks for coming. And I'll see you on your live stream or somewhere else. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.